right now we have Nikolas Motta versus Trey Ogden. Nikolas Motta, he's 13-5, 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off of that loss where he got knocked out by Manuel Torres. He's 30 years old. He's fighting against Trey Ogden, Samurai Ghost, 16-6, 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off that decision loss against Ignacio Bamajones. He's 34 years old. He's going to be the slightly taller fighter here, 2-inch height advantage, and also a 1.5-inch reach advantage there. Fight odds for this fight right now, I believe that Motta is actually the favorite right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's like minus 129. He actually opened up at a minus 225. So people have been liking the dog odds on Trey Ogden. And I actually agree with them. I mean, Trey is a grappler first kind of fighter, but I think he does have pretty good athleticism. If you look at how he moves and how he fights, I think he's a pretty good athlete. He's also a decent striker for being someone who is a kind of a grappling heavy fighter. Decent power in his strikes. He also has a good amount of clubs and subs in his career if you look at some of his victories. The one area where he does need to improve upon, though, is that he has a 14% takedown accuracy. So that's like Mackenzie Dern status, right? That's not good. So we don't want that percentage of a takedown accuracy. But the thing that I will say about him is that he does shoot for those blast single double legs to try to get to the fight of the ground, and he commits to them. So even though he has a bad takedown accuracy, he will commit to getting things on the ground when he sees an opening for a level change. He does have a tendency to not push the best pace though on the feet and can have bouts of inactivity while he's patiently waiting to level change for a takedown. I think that sometimes he does wait a little too much for my taste, and it could look bad against a fighter who pressures him on the feet. I don't know if that'll be that much of an issue here, just because Mata, I think he's a good striker. He is explosive with his strikes, good power behind his strikes as well. But he also is a patient striker who likes to wait for a time to explode in furies and like kind of flurries and like kill shots, right? So I think that both these guys will be somewhat patient and potentially even hesitant because Mata, I don't think he's ever been taken down the UFC yet, but he hasn't really been tested as far as his takedowns yet, right? I mean, I don't know if he's even been shot a take like someone's even shot a takedown against him yet. So I think yeah, one his first fight, someone shot a takedown against him, and then he stuffed it, and that's pretty much it. I think that Trey Ogden will attempt more than one takedown in this fight. I guarantee that. So right now, I'm going with Trey Ogden by decision. Depending on what the props look like, as far as the odds, I might play that just because I think that styles make fights, and I think both these guys are going to be patient and potentially hesitant. And the last time that we saw that happen, especially Nikolas Motta, I mean, he's coming off a KO where he got elbowed, right, against Manuel Torres. So the last time that Trey Ogden fought a guy who was hesitant was Daniel Zuhelber, and he did a pretty good job winning that decision. I think he might do the same thing here. So give me Trey Ogden by decision. I'll look at what the odds are when that prop drops. But right now, that's my pick. Gerard, what do you think about this fight between Ogden and Motta here?
This fight, I probably would lean Mata, but for Trey Ogden fights, it seems like all these fights are kind of just coin flips in
Yeah.
terms of judging. So I don't really know how this fight's gonna go. But Trey Ogden seems to always get his opponents to not play their game,
Hmm.
and even against those explosive prospects, they were sucked into Trey Ogden's style of just mostly patiently watching around and stuff, even if the other guy's the more explosive and dangerous fighter. So Nikolas Motta, he came off of some knockouts, losses, but he has the more heavy-handed finishing ability here. But against a Trey Ogden, I don't know if he'll be able to do that because Trey Ogden kind of just goes through decisions most of the time. And like you said, this could be like a good chunk of the time is them looking at each other, waiting to counter when the other guy's not even throwing anything. So yeah, yeah, I'm probably gonna pass on this, but I'm leading Nikolas Motta because I see that he'll probably have the more impactful moments in this fight if he were to let his offense go moments of the fight. But yeah, this will probably go to a decision, and it'll probably be a hard fight to judge. So yeah, that's how I see this.
For sure, yeah. And also when the props drop, I'm going to be looking at the over-unders for that too. I think it'll be a really interesting to see what the lines look like for the over-unders.